Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Facebook Live with Fingerprint Marketing. I'm Pia Larson. I'm so excited about today's topic. I have a question. Do you guys have traffic coming to your website? You know that you're doing everything right for people to find you on Google search, Bing, Yahoo search, and people coming to your website, but they're not buying, they're not clicking, they're not staying, they're not signing up for your widget, or they're not signing into your email list. Well, today I'm going to share with you 10 tips to tweak your copy, the words on your website, to turn these looky-loos into actual paying clients. So stay tuned. And if you are watching this live or on the replay, I would ask if you comment and just ask your questions or give me a like or a heart, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube if you're watching from there. So let's dig in. The first thing I want to do before we start with the 10 tips is to explain to you the ultimate goal of your website from a client's perspective or a prospect's perspective. Say that 10 times. Prospect's perspective. Okay, from their point of view, let's get started. Hey, Leela, nice to see you, my diehard fan. So let's talk about customer journey. I think everyone who owns a business has heard of this term. What exactly does that mean? Do they have a map? Do they pack their lunch? Do they travel through your journey? Like, what does this term mean? So in the sense of going to your website, if I'm a consumer, you want to basically, the minute I land on your website, you want me to know exactly where I am. Okay, so you are giving them kind of a map. Where are you at all periods of time in this journey, and tell me what I need to do along this journey. Am I going to find buried treasure? Am I going to click this link and find another clue? So treat it as a map. And the shorter the map, the better. Okay, so that is essentially what a customer journey is. And the goal for your copy, along with your visuals on your website, is the minute your prospect hits your website, is you're taking them on a journey, okay? And journeys are supposed to be fun, right? They're supposed to be helpful. They're supposed to be educational. They're supposed to entertain. So if you keep that in mind, this is going to be a breeze. The other thing I love about today's Facebook Live is that you guys can seriously do this on your own. If you are like, no, I'm not a writer, or I don't even want to deal with it, that's what I'm here for, and I will give you a way to connect with me at the end of this recording. Anyway, let's get started. Also, if you can share this video out with any of your fellow friends, family, and cohorts who own small businesses that might need to tweak their copy just a little bit, or they haven't looked at their copy in like years. This actually came up as a topic for me because I was kind of refreshing my content on my website and kind of thinking more deeply about it. It's always a good idea to revisit what your website is saying. Probably depends on how fast your market changes, but for like me, to revisit it once a year. So that means reading through each of your core pages. Is it still on point? Do you still use the services or give the services that you do? Has anything changed? It's always good to do a refresher. And what better month to do that than January, right? Okay, let's dive in. My first tip to you is to look at your navigation. A lot of times people will want to be cute with their navigation. Not a good idea. You want your navigation, and when I say navigation, I mean the tabs at the top that guide your prospect to where they want to go to get more information. So the about, the services, etc. So if you are using things like why hire me, or why hire us, or about fingerprint marketing, or about our fans, our raving fans. So if you twist that a little bit and think about why is it all about me, and change the wording to be about your audience, that is my first tip. That takes 5 minutes, guys. You can change that. I want to back up a little bit and talk to you about what is called the spotlight effect. So when you think about people on a stage, where is your spotlight? Because your website is your stage, right? Where is the spotlight shining? Is it on you as the business owner, or is it on your audience? You want the spotlight to be on your audience. So anytime I'm asking you to make a change, or you're reviewing your website, go ahead and ask yourself, is this spotlighting me, or is it spotlighting my perfect client? All right. So number one is to update your navigation to make it about the audience. So instead of, and I'm guilty of this, so don't go to my website and call me out, because I know that I need to make some changes. So I walk my talk. So you want to say things like, instead of about the company, just say about, and then you can have drop downs under that, and then services. And then instead of saying, raving fans, you could sprinkle the testimonials throughout your website, because no one reads a wall of testimonials anymore anyhow. Anyway, so hi, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead and hit the like button, share the video if you know any businesses that need to hear this. We are talking about content hacks. Okay, number two, we have talked about navigation. I would like you to follow this formula. It's a very simple formula on getting clear. So whenever you're writing a blog article or a web page, let's say it's your about page, or it's about it's a service page, I want you to use this simple formula. Your topic, make sure it's clear. Make sure that you're using not industry jargon, which again, I'm also guilty of, but you want it to be simple. So you want a good headline. You want to use easy to understand language. So this is where sometimes I'll ask my clients or friends to kind of read what I've wrote and let me know if it's understandable to them, like the layperson. Why should they care? The third part of that formula is what's in it for them. The fourth part of that is, now you're going to come in and show your expertise. What do you recommend, Pia? What do you recommend, business owner? You've identified what the issue is, and you've got my attention. Now, how are you going to solve my problem? And you can do that very easily by using bullet points and lists to call those out. And then finally, what does my life look like after I make those changes and I follow your recommendation and your advice? Does my life look better? Do I make more money? Does this widget change my life? And what happens if I don't choose you? So it's kind of the fear and the desire. Everything, you guys, and I learned this back in college in advertising days, everything comes down to fear or desire. So we either really want something we can't have or that everyone else has, or we are fearful that we're going to miss out, or that something bad is going to happen to us. So that's kind of where your content is going. Okay, where are we at? We went number one, we went number 2, 3, clear formula. Okay, number 4, I love, because everyone is a buzz about storytelling, right? So you're hearing this, you need to tell stories. Pia, what does that mean? Basically it comes down to creating emotion. Okay, so when you hear a story, a good story, it makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it instills an emotion in you. Website copy and the words on your page are the same exact thing. They need to drive some sort of emotion. Do you know why? It's not just for shits and giggles, people. It's because your old brain immediately responds to emotional cues, whether it's they go towards it or they go away from it. And so it's the quickest way to get to your prospect's brain and get your message through is through emotion, because they are looking for that information. A couple of ideas, if you're thinking, okay, well, how can I use emotion in my copywriting? You can take advantage of FOMO. If you don't know what FOMO means, it's fear of missing out. We all suffer from that. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to sign up for this, or I have to buy this because everyone else is, and I don't want to miss out, right? You can also use inclusion. So, 9 out of 10 doctors recommend this. Well, it must be good. you know, showing people that all your friends are signing up for this, then you want to be included. Self-improvement is a big deal, whether that's for your business or for yourself. So include a copy that talks about self-improvement. And then finally, fear. Now, fear, I don't suggest that you use a lot of hardcore fear tactics. Hey, Mary, nice to see you. What I'm talking about fear is, you know, kind of what I do on these Facebook Lives. It's like, if you guys don't stay current and you don't revisit these marketing tactics and these best practices, you will become irrelevant in the sense that you're going to miss the money on the table, right? So I'm sharing with you some things that could be kind of fearful, but then on the flip side, I'm helping you delete that fear by helping you change your business. So, okay, so where are we at? Number 5, empathize, but don't sympathize. Empathize rather than sympathize. And again, this ties in with the emotion. People want to know that you yourself or your business has been there, done that. Because if you haven't, then why should I listen to you, right? And a couple of ways you can do that is telling stories, right? Sharing a story about yourself, or why was this company started? A big easy way to do this is to tap into your why. Did you just get into it for the money? That could be a reason to start a business, yeah, because you needed the funds. But really deep down, there's always a why. Why did you want to solve this problem? Because you saw a need, you had a friend or another business that you saw a need for. So you want to tap into that. And when you're writing, you're not sympathizing with the reader, you're empathizing. So it's a shared experience. I've been there, I've done that, I feel your pain. All right, so moving on to number 6, create urgency. Okay, so we're going to talk about the old brain. The old brain is from millions of years ago, and it's looking for things to pay attention to. One of the things that your old brain will pay attention to is urgency, right? Because urgency means what's going on? What am I missing? Do I need to, you know, take cover or be secure? So if you create a sense of urgency, so for example, I put out some information about, you know, changes in WordPress and what would happen if you don't update to the latest software. Here's what could happen. So there is some urgency in there. Or when Google puts out a new change to their algorithm, how is that going to affect your site? Well, here are 10 things to do so your site doesn't get affected when they go mobile friendly May 29th. Okay. So that's creating urgency. And you guys, you could take these tips and just keep them in the back of your head and go ahead and read through your core pages, like your services pages, your about, your home, and then eventually your blog articles, and just keep these in mind. And sometimes it's just a matter of tweaking a couple words or a couple sentences, and you would be shocked at how much improvement you are going to see on getting more leads or getting people to convert to leads on your website. Okay, so where are we at? Number 7, strong headlines. So this goes back to the 50s during the big ad campaigns. Headlines are read by 8 to 10 people, or 8 to 10% higher than the actual body copy. Actually, I think that might be even more. I think it's 80% of your readers are going to read your copy, your headline, but not your copy. Oh my gosh, I need more coffee. Thanks, you guys. Leave your comments and let me know if you like this content. So we're talking strong headlines. So you need something that's going to be kind of a hook. Those can be challenging. I have a tip for you. Go to YouTube and type in some keywords or some titles that you think would work, and see what everyone else is producing content on, and then just make it yourself. Hey, Stacy, how are you? Dewey defeats Truman. I love it. I love Stacy. She's my branding guru. Anyway, yes. Yeah, so you want to hook people and get their attention, because it's all about getting their attention, right? So the next tip I have for you, this is number 8. Number 8, include objections. So, okay, this is a tough one because I have gotten pushback on this. When people say, why should I include objections on my copy, on my website? I don't want to bring things to mind for my readers, and I say, why not cut them off at the pass? Just say, you know, people are going to push back on price. You know, people are going to push back on timing, or how difficult is it, or why are people not buying your product? And here's a key: you need to ask them. Okay, don't be afraid. If people don't buy from you, or reject you, or don't pick you for what they're looking for, ask them. Say, you know what? I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a small business. I'm always looking to improve my business or my game. Would you mind sharing why you didn't purchase from us? What was the deciding factor? You'd be amazed what people will share with you, because they're in business too. They want to help you. So go ahead and ask. And once you have those answers, then change your content on your website to speak to those objections. So if it's about price, you could say something like, in 3 easy payments, we have payment plans. You could offer a coupon. You could, if it's confusion, like I didn't know your packages, I was just confused, so I shut down. So you can go ahead and revisit your packages and how they're presented, right? So knowledge is power, people. And I would encourage you not to avoid discussing objections on your website. Okay, number 9. Segment. So a couple of you may have different avatars or target markets that you cater to on your website. It gets immediately confusing if I am target number 1 reader versus number 2. So it's kind of like a car dealership. If I'm coming in to buy a truck into the car dealership and all I see are Maseratis or, no trucks, I'm going to be very confused, even though you might have another lot in the back that has trucks. So you've got to really think. This is a little bit more complicated hack for you, because it requires you to really think about 2 or 3 journeys, right? You have the one customer journey, and then if you have several different target markets, you're going to want to create a different kind of map of where you want them to enter into your website and where you want them to go next, because all buyers are different, unless you only have one product or one service. So segment. So that's not just the types of clients, it's also segment for where they are in your sales process or your funnel. So if I come to your site and I'm ready to buy, right? I'm ready to buy. So what do? I set up schedule a call, or hit the buy button. That's one type of user. Maybe I just want to check you out. I haven't heard of your brand. I don't really know what you offer. I want to learn a little bit more, kind of do my due diligence. That's a second type of buyer, or I'm not quite ready yet. So can I opt into your email list with some good content? Can I follow you on social media channels to see if you're the real deal? Can I read your blog? So you have to have different offerings depending on where they are in the funnel. My last one is to ask for the sale. I can't tell you how many times I've read through web copy, and so I'm kind of like, okay, now what? You've got me, you've hooked me, I want to buy. And you want to make sure that it's not just once on each page. You want to make sure that, because we're all scrolling, right? We're scrolling through pages. Hey guys, thanks for joining. So you want to have a buy button or sign up or a call to action or download at least, a third through your site as they scroll down. There's no hard and fast rule, but you can go ahead and just look at your website as you're scrolling and make sure that the same call to action is consistent, right? Now, you don't want more than 1 call to action or more than 2 at the most, but you want to make sure it's consistently on every page, okay? Multiple messages, Stacy says multiple messages means connecting with multiple types of clients. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so those are my 10 tips. And I just want to remind you that, we've talked about optimizing your site to get traffic, right? So now I'm assuming you're getting traffic to your site, you're getting visitors, yay, but they're not buying. So when they come to your website, this is an opportunity that you guys cannot miss. You have to take advantage of it, because the reason why they're at your website is because they have buyer intent. They're ready to take the next step in the marriage, in the date. So if this has been helpful to you guys, leave your comments, share, like. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Click the bell to make sure that you get notified. I'm here every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you for joining us. Bye.